Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Before I begin, I will introduce myself. Myself is Nur Azmi Alif bin Arifin, and I am a diploma student of engineering in electrical and electronic. So this is my project supervisor, Madam Zarina Ahmadzin, and I will explain to you about my project, which is implementation of alcohol detection system using Arduino microcontroller. Before we get to my main point, so this is the content of my slide, which is objective, introduction, problem statement, methodology, and also conclusion. So first we start with objective. Why am I creating this project? This is because I want to create a project that will decrease the possibility of traffic accident that related to drunk driver. And I also want to give awareness to Malaysia citizens for not driving after drinking alcohol, because this will cause a lot of accident. And as we know, right now as nowadays, we notice that a lot of accident happen because of drunk driver, and many innocent life has died because of it. So I want to create this to help them. And next, I want to create alcohol sensor that I want to create alcohol sensor design that can fit inside any four wheels vehicle. And lastly, I want to create alcohol sensor that can connect through phone using Internet of Things. I will explain further during my slide. So first, and then now I want to introduce you about my project. Drinking and driving is a serious issue that we as Malaysian citizens need to take it seriously. Based on what I researched, which is on the World Health Organization statistic in 2008, there is about 50% to 60% of traffic accident happen related to drunk driver. And this is increased every year. So because of this, I create my project. Because of this, we create alcohol detection system using Arduino microcontroller. So now I will explain about my project. My project will detect the alcohol content in human breath with the help of MQ3 alcohol sensor. And my system will also calculate the content of alcohol in human breath in mg, which is milligram. And if the system notices you are drunk while driving, it will slowly stop your car and send location to the family member through Blink application. This is what I mean by IoT. So next is problem statement. Problem statement is why I want to create this project. There is no device in any vehicle that can monitor the alcohol content in human breath to make sure the driver is safe to drive the car. So by my project, I can monitor the alcohol content in human breath to make sure the driver is safe to drive the car. So there is no issue about drunk driver while driving the car. Next, in order for the authorities to check whether the driver is drunk or not, they need to make a roadblock. So with my project, they actually don't need to make a roadblock because the project will detect if you are drunk or not. So there is no need a roadblock. And lastly, even though there is a lot of precaution measures just to make sure there is no drunk driver on the road, the accident because of drunk driver is still occur. This is because even though the driver know that he or she is drunk, he or she still need one to drive the car. But with my project, I will take fully control of the project will take fully control of car engine. So when my project notice that you are drunk, it will slowly stop the car engine. So you will be slowly your car will slowly stop. So you cannot drive while drunk. So this is about my project. Next is literature review, which I compare my project with another project, which is alcohol detection system in vehicle. For another project, it only shown either the driver is drunk or not. It never shown the alcohol content. So with my project, I show the alcohol content in driver mouth in milligram. So you know what your alcohol content is. And next, for the other question, he doesn't stop the car when the driver is drunk. But with my project, if the alcohol sensor notice that driver is drunk, it will stop the car engine. And the other project also use liquid crystal display, this is like outdated display. So I use the modern display, which is OLED display. Even though it is smaller, it is nice and fit. And I add extra feature, which is IoT. IoT is a FYOT, which is connect with Blink application. Okay, that's all. We can continue with the next slide. Next, I will talk about methodology, method that we use in order to create implementation of alcohol detection system using Arduino. My part is about design and hardware, so I will explain further about the design and hardware. So this is the flowchart. which we begin with turning on the alcohol sensor. And with the when the alcohol sensor MQ3 detect in alcohol, it will go to an OLED will display alcohol detected, and red LED will turn on, buzzer will turn on, DC motor will turn off because DC motor is act as a car engine, and GPS signal is on, and the drunk driver location will be notified on the Blink application. Driver will get the notification from Blink about the amount of alcohol content in his mouth, and he also can view it on the monitor, which is OLED display. And if the alcohol sensor is not detected any alcohol, an OLED display will display this driver is okay and ready to drive, and green LED will turn on, and DC motor will turn on back. Means if you are drunk and then you stay a while at the side of the road, and if you're not drunk, you can drive back and the engine will start normally, and you can use your car normally. Next, I will explain about the block diagram. I separate it to three parts, which is input, process, and output. For the input, I have alcohol sensor, and for the process, I have Node MCU ASP module 32, and for the output, I have 5 output, which is buzzer, LED, GPS, OLED display, and also DC motor. The DC motor is connected with a fan, so it's represented as the engine. For the Blink application, we use Node MCU. Node MCU doesn't need a Wi-Fi module because it have ESP module 32, so it can connect with Blink application. That's why we choose Node MCU. Next, I will talk about schematic diagram. I separate it into two parts, which is the front side of our project and also the back side. For the front side, I have red LED, green LED, OLED display, and also MQ3 alcohol sensor. The position of it, we put the MCQ and MQ3 and also OLED display in a very good position, which the driver will notice about their will notice on the OLED display, and also we can sense the breath from there. This is the back side. The back side we have DC motor with fan, we have Node MCU, we have buzzer, and also GPS module. This is the process flow about our project. Firstly, we design and sketch the structure of our product. I actually do a lot of research just to come up with this design, this prototype design that is perfectly can be used for my project. So I come up with this design. And secondly, we measure and cutting the wood. We separate the wood part into two parts, which is base and also main body. For the main body, we use 24 times 74, and for the base we use 54 times 64. Thirdly, we assemble the steering wheel, which is we use a drill to make a hole, and then we connect the steering wheel with a nut behind it so it can stay stably. And fourth, we assemble the main body to the base using L-shaped bracelet, which is we can make it steadily stand up for our main body. And next, we measure and cutting the acrylic. For the acrylic, we use 28 meter times 12 meter because this is perfectly in sync with our main body. And next, we assemble after we cutting the acrylic, which we using a plastic cutter. And after we done cutting, we assemble the acrylic to the back side of our main body using L-shaped bracelet. And then we construct and assemble the component from the breadboard to the strip board, which we use solder to solder all the component into the strip board. And then we fit in the strip board on the acrylic that we made earlier, and we put the component based on the design that we sketched earlier. And then we check the connection and do the final touch on the project so that we can see the connection whether it's wrong or right. And finally, we finish our product. So this is the finished product of our project. Next is the conclusion. In the conclusion, it's safe to say that our project have achieved the previous objective that I stated. I create this project because there is a lot of innocent people die because of the drunk driver. With the help of my project, the amount of drunk driver accident case will decrease. Moreover, the alcohol sensor will detect only the driver breath, not including the passenger, because the driver is the only one responsible for driving the vehicle. We don't need to detect the alcohol content inside the passenger breath. because the one that driving is the most important one. Next, my alcohol sensor has complete control over the vehicle engine, so there will be no chance for the driver to drive while drunk. And lastly, there is a lot of improvement that can be made in our automotive industries nowadays, such as use our design or create a better design of alcohol sensor that can be fit inside a car, and the design need to monitor the amount of alcohol content inside the driver breast, so there will be no more traffic accident related to drunk driver, because drunk issue is a big issue that take many innocent life. So I hope our automotive industry will take a big step further in their automation part. And that's all from me. Thank you.